Hi guys, welcome to the 25 Days of Fitmas. My name is Carly and I am a registered dietitian nutritionist. How the program will work for your nutrition segment is you will log on to TrueCoach, you will find your nutrition video for that week, sit down and watch it, and then complete the assignment or reflection that goes with it and submit it to me via email before your one-to-one session. So just keep in mind when you're scheduling your one-to-one session that if you won't have time to complete this before we talk, you just want to pick a later day in the week to schedule your session with me. So what is a registered dietitian nutritionist? So a registered dietitian nutritionist is considered the expert of nutrition in the medical world. We are able to help treat and manage chronic conditions. We help with weight loss, weight management, food allergies, eating disorders, whatever nutrition problem you have, we are the experts to help you fix it. So you are in good hands. We have gone through extensive schooling and training and boards and whatever. And I am here to help serve you in whatever way I can. This program is a great way to get familiar of what it might be like to work with a dietitian one-to-one. But keep in mind, if you were doing a one-to-one, you would be more in the driver's seat. Whatever you feel like you need to discuss is what we would discuss. In this program, we have a set of topics lined up to help you stay on track during the holidays. But of course, we are never limited to whatever topics are covered in this program as far as in a one-to-one session would go. Today, I'm going to talk to you about intuitive eating and mindfulness. It's very important if you are on a weight management journey or if you want to feel free from the power of food, that you become familiar with what intuitive eating and mindfulness is. So, what is intuitive eating? When we are kids, we are born with natural hunger and fullness cues. Toddlers don't usually overeat and they don't usually undereat. They usually listen to their body, and one day they might not eat very much and the next they might eat whatever, but they seem to have no problem from walking away from food when they're done. Over time, we become environmentally conditioned to have these hunger and fullness cues unfortunately become skewed, and we seem to start to ignore them. Whether it be because we started school and now we're being told to eat at a certain time, whether it just be the hectic lifestyle that we have, we're always on the go and we're busy. But many of us don't actually listen to when we're hungry and when we're full, and we end up just struggling with food overall. So intuitive eating helps us reinstall these hunger and fullness cues and get us back to listening to our bodies and self-regulating. By doing this, it helps with managing our weight where our body wants to be without dieting. So we're letting go of diet mentality. We are all on a diet, and our diet is just what we eat every day. We do not diet, we have a diet. So we are going to talk today about the principles of intuitive eating and then the types of eating patterns that we may have. So the types are the principles of intuitive eating. Listen up, take notes, get familiar. I will provide them to you so you don't have to memorize them from this video, but they are very important. This is the basis of our lifestyle modification. These are going to be the standards of what we try to live by. Reject the diet mentality, honor your hunger, make peace with food, challenge the food police, feel your fullness, discover the satisfaction factor, cope with your emotions without using food, respect your body, exercise, and honor your health. So what do these all mean? Principle number one, self-explanatory. Reject the diet mentality. Let go of the diets that have offered you nothing but the feeling of failure and look forward at what's to come, what's better, what's ahead of us. Honor your hunger. This is what we just talked about. Listen to your body, listen to when it's hungry and listen to when it's full, and don't go too long without eating. When we go too long without eating, we are animals. The primal urge to overeat takes over and there's no stopping us. So the next, along with dieting, is to challenge the food police. Believe it or not, there's really no such thing as good and bad foods. There's foods that hold high nutritional value and foods that don't hold high nutritional value, but every food gives us some form of energy. So let go of the idea of good and bad foods, clean eating, these trigger words that hold negative connotations towards food. Let go and challenge the food police. We don't need to listen to the food police. Along with the hunger and fullness, the next is feel your fullness. So satisfy your hunger, feel your fullness. You shouldn't leave a meal feeling overwhelmingly full. You shouldn't have this pressure in your belly. You shouldn't need to take a nap. You should just feel satisfied. You want to be, on cruise control. You just want to feel like you're at a level all the time. You're never down here. You're never up here. We're always here. The next is to discover the satisfaction factor. I love to eat. I'm sure you love to eat. That's what we look forward to. So discovering this satisfaction factor in food. Food is one of life's greatest gifts. When we eat in a safe environment and we enjoy foods, we tend to find that it takes a lot less indulgence to satisfy a craving. So if we are in a safe place eating a piece of cake, we may feel like it takes less of that cake to feel like we're satisfied. If we're in a really negative environment, in a really judgmental environment, if we're judging ourselves, this might put this pressure on us that we'll never get a piece of cake ever again, and we end up eating way more cake than we really needed to feel actually satisfied from that mini indulgence. The next is to cope with your emotions without using food. This one is something that is not a quick fix and is probably going to take some extra work for many of us. I know that it was something that I definitely struggled with, and I'm really happy that through intuitive eating, I was able to let go of this connection to food. So stress, loneliness, depression, anger, fear, these emotions, they're not going away. We all feel them throughout our lives. And when we cope with them through food, we actually just end up feeling worse about it. How many of you have binge ate and actually felt better about it afterwards due to some kind of emotional breakdown? My boyfriend's in the background, sorry. Never. You never actually feel better after a binge. So it's time to think of a way to cope with your emotions outside of food and to let go of that obsession, that mechanism to cope, to blanket that problem temporarily with food. The next one is to respect your body. This one's my favorite. So accept your genetic makeup, your blueprint. I'm a size 6.5 shoe. You would never expect me to squeeze my foot into a size 5 shoe. So never expect your body to become something that it's not meant to become. If you were never a size 00, at 27 years old, it's probably not time to try. Just respect yourself and accept your body. And by doing that, you'll be able to let go of that diet mentality and, holding on to those diets and critiquing yourself. Along with that, exercise. So we're talking a lot about exercise in the 25 days of Fitmas. We're motivating movement. When you do these workouts, I want you to think about how you actually feel after you complete it. Do not exercise solely for the benefit of weight loss. Pay attention to the energy boost you might get, the mood enhancement you may feel. If you are only waking up to work out for weight loss, that motivation is probably going to plateau at some point, and it's going to be really hard to get out of bed and get moving. Think about the benefits that movement provides you outside of weight loss and use that as your motivation. And the last is about gentle nutrition. It's about honoring your health. So the good and bad food component. We don't have good and bad foods, but yes, we have foods that hold higher nutritional value and foods that hold lower nutritional value. Food does not have as much power as we think. So for your health, yes, we want to consistently choose foods that hold higher nutritional value. But what we need to realize as far as the component of gentle nutrition is that one meal, one day of eating doesn't hold enough value to make you gain an immense amount of weight from that one day or that one meal. It's about the decisions we make consistently over time that leads us to our goals. So do not feel this immense amount of guilt for going out to dinner with friends, for, indulging in a piece of cake one day. That food does not have that much power, but choose foods that have nutritional value that make you feel good more consistently throughout your life. So those are the principles of intuitive eating. I want you to become very familiar with them and try to incorporate them into your daily life. Realize where you struggle and which ones you may identify a little bit more heavily with as far as barriers, and then have them prepared to talk about when we do your one-to-one. In intuitive eating, people usually fall into 3 different eating patterns. You may identify with multiple, but you primarily align the most with one. So your assignment for the week is going to be to read in depth about the 3 different types of eating patterns and then decide which eating pattern you feel like you fall in with and why. And then we'll talk about that as far as any barriers you have to, getting over that eating pattern, breaking out of it so that you can eat intuitively. So the different types of eating patterns are the careful eater, the professional dieter, and the unconscious eater. The unconscious eater falls into 3 different categories: the chaotic unconscious eater, the refuse not unconscious eater, and the emotional unconscious eater. So that's what you're going to read about this week and report back. Other than that, just try not to go too long without eating, don't overfill yourself, and I want you to really try to eat with intention. Eat sitting down, think about everything we're putting into our mouths and then how we're going to feel afterwards. If you're not going to feel good, then think about why you're eating it and maybe think about, how we can change that meal to make us feel happy after we leave it. Okay, so I look forward to talking to all of you at your one-to-one session, and happy intuitive eating. Welcome to the 25 days of Fitmas.